We have to talk about the Druid's other half today. I of course mean the animal companion. Hello everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your Master of Lore and Storyteller Extraordinaire, here to talk about the first edition Pathfinder Druid's Animal Companion. We're going to cover quite a bit today, so we'll get right into it, but just before we do that, if you're new here to the channel, then go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. Or, if you've already gone on ahead and listed yourself on such an incredible roster of legendary heroes, then go on down to hit the like button and share the video far and wide. But now we'll actually get down into things here, and to start things off when it comes to your animal companion, getting this through your nature bond nets you an extra bit of hit points, positioning, and damage on the battlefield. That advances as you level up. That's not to say that you get the hit points, that your team has another body out there. With a hit point pool, it's going to be of a better quality than most of the other animals that you could possibly field. Well, by animals I mean the animal type of creature. Before I get myself lost down that rabbit trail, when you have an animal companion, at first level they get 2d8 plus constitution modifier in hit points. Their base attack bonus starts off at a +1 at level 1 and ends at +12 by the time you hit level 20. However, they don't get multiple attacks for a high base attack bonus. That only expands as you level up and advance along the hit dice track that's available to them, which is pretty readily available for you to read up on. They also get 1 skill rank per hit dice and 1 feat at first level, and they advance in the number of feats that they have access to, again, as you level up. They begin with no bonuses to their natural armor or strength and dexterity bonuses at first level, and they have 1 bonus trick that they start off knowing that you can select for them right offhand. Now, once you get their intelligence score to 3 for access to more skills, feats, and less need to give directions. This means that they're not limited to just whatever their class skills are. You're able to start putting skill ranks into other skills. You open up the wider pool of feats that are available to them. And the animal companion becomes intelligent enough that you're not having to consistently direct them each and every single turn, which is massively valuable. It really loosens things up as far as the action economy goes. Now, your animal companion is going to have great fortitude and reflex saves. However, they are going to have poor will saves, which is really gonna hurt. Having your animal companion turn against you is devastating, although at early levels it's not that much of a hindrance, so it's something to worry about later on as you advance, but there are ways to supplement and advance that we'll talk about in a moment. But to start off with, at level 1, this is off of the hit dice advancement chart that will expand and progress as you level up. It levels up with you. It's not like the ranger where you have an animal companion that's equal to your level -3 by the time you're able to select such. No, this will advance with you as you level up. So to start things off, at level 1 you have Link, which you can use handle animal as a free action, push the animal as a move, and you get a +4 handle animal bonus. All the way around, pretty nice to have there. Even though we are tanking our dexterity score, this still helps to make up for the fact that we've done that, so it makes that much more viable. And also you gain the share spells quality, so spells that are normally limited to a target of just you, yourself, the character, are now able to be cast on your animal companion, which is huge. That's an incredible boost to have right there, and will make your animal companion much more effective compared to its more generic counterparts. Then at level 3, they pick up Evasion. On a reflex save for half damage, they take no damage on success, which, given that they have a d8 for hit points, is a massive win for you. Definitely good, and it stacks nicely with the fact that your animal companion gets a good reflex save bonus. Then at level 4, 9, 14, and 20, they gain ability score increases. So that's 1 point to throw into the animal companion stat, one of your animal companion stats. The first one, if it's applicable, you should put into their intelligence, because a lot of your animal companions will start with an intelligence score of 2. So boosting them to that 3 right there as soon as possible, again, really feeds into loosening up that action economy and expands what they're capable of learning. Then at level 6, they pick up Devotion, which is providing a +4 morale bonus on will saves versus enchantment spells and effects. And those are the ones that are like Dominate Monster and the like, that will turn your animal companion against you. So this is great to have. Absolutely wonderful. It's a great boost. Then at level 9, they pick up multi-attack as a bonus feat if it has 3 or more natural attacks. If it doesn't, it gets a second attack at a -5 penalty for its primary natural weapon. So you're really going to be wanting to look for animal companions that have those 3 or more natural attacks to really open this up and make use of it. It's massively useful, great to have. Multi-attack is a good feat. Then at level 15, they pick up Improved Evasion. On a reflex save for half damage, they take no damage on success and half damage on a failure. Now, while this is coming in at level 15 and is kind of late, this is still worthwhile to have. Now, this is a fairly limited advancement track here, but again, the fact that you get to throw this on top of an animal companion, even with the limited number of abilities you're getting, you're still wildly expanding what your companion is capable of. Animal companions are great to have. Now, as far as what kind of animal companion you want to pick up, there's a wide variety, but I've got a couple on hand here that should give you an idea of what to look out for. Starting off with the Velociraptor. Now you can find this on the Bestiary 4, page 311. Starts off at a small size, has an incredible 60-foot speed, and begins with an armor class bonus for +1 to natural armor. They get 2 talon attacks dealing 1d6 damage and a bite attack for 1d4. So there's your 3 attacks right there for multi-attack. Ability scores start off with a strength of 11, dexterity is 17, constitution of 17, intelligence of 2, so there's that boost for intelligence, getting it up to a 3 right there, a wisdom of 12, and a charisma of 14, which is surprising, but incredibly useful to have. For special qualities, it has low light vision and scent. Then when you hit level 7, they advance in their size and get a variety of other great bonuses, going up to a medium size, having their natural armor bonus go up to +2. They still have 2 talon attacks, but those increase to 1d8, and the bite damage goes up to 1d6, and they get 2 claw attacks for 1d4 damage apiece. The ability scores increase to a strength of +4, dex is reduced by 2, and constitution goes up by +2, and they gain the pounce special attack. Now, something to note is that animal companions by level 7 get a +2 to their strength and dexterity scores as a bonus. And I bring this up here because while you are taking a -2 dex penalty, that's immediately being brought back up, so you're still sitting pretty at a dexterity score of 17 for your animal companion, which is great to have. Absolutely a wonderful thing. Now, the next option is something in the big cat category, lions and tigers, things like that. Now you can find these in the core rulebook on page 54. They start off at a medium size, a speed of 40 feet, an armor class bonus for a +1 natural armor. They get a bite attack of 1d6, 2 claws at 1d4. Ability scores start off at a strength of 13, dexterity 17, constitution 13, intelligence of 2, wisdom 15, and charisma 10. Interesting that the Velociraptor is more charismatic. Special attacks, they start off with Rake, dealing 1d4. Special qualities are low light vision and scent. Now, 7th level advancement, they increase in size to a large size, and then their natural armor bonus goes up to +2. Their bite attack goes up to 1d8, claws go up to 1d6. Ability scores increase at a strength of +8. Absolutely incredible, going up to a strength of 21. Dexterity score of -2 and a constitution of +4. Special attacks are grab, pounce, and rake, all three of which are awesome to have. Now, another thing that I make note of here is that by level 7, animal companions are up to a +4 natural armor bonus, which boosts really incredibly. So in this case for large cats, that's a +6 armor bonus all the way around right there. Same for the Velociraptor that came before. And note that the big cats also start off with an intelligence score of 2. So boosting them up to a +3 again is going to net you that benefit that we talked about before, with not having to spend so much of your action on each turn directing them or pushing them, things like that. So all the way around great to note. Something else to make note of though is the size differences here. I didn't penalize the small size for the Velociraptor so hard because something that was talked about with the Cavalier before with their animal companion, the mount that they get, is that their mount sizes really limit where they can go. In tight quarters, in dungeons, any kind of dungeon delving, that gets to be a problem pretty damn fast. Now, a small-sized animal companion is not going to be facing those same issues, and when it progresses up to medium size, that actually still works out to be pretty ideal. They're going to get to go to most places that you're able to, and any space that you're having to squeeze into, they'll be able to do so as well. Whereas with the big cat here, they can still function pretty well at medium size, but by large size, they might start having some issues here or there, but there are plenty of dungeons that have large open spaces for large creatures. Ogres are a pretty common thing in caves, so are trolls as well. So it's something to think about, especially if you progress to something up like an elephant. Elephants get to be pretty damn massive, so that can present some issues. But then again, if you're going to be consistently campaigning around in an area that's got a lot of open environs that are not going to be impeding your animal companion so much, then feel free to disregard this, but it is something to bear in mind and think about. Now, for the last animal companion option here, I wanted to talk about one to watch out for, or specifically the things you want to watch out for. And for this example, we have the giant beetle, also available in the core rulebook on page 54. It has a small size, which isn't bad as we discussed before, speed of 20 feet, but it does have a fly speed of 20 feet, although at a poor maneuverability. It has an incredible +6 natural armor bonus, making it particularly tanky. It has a bite attack of 1d6, ability scores of 13, strength, 12 dex, constitution of 13, no intelligence, wisdom of 11, and charisma of 4. Special qualities: it has dark vision, which is amazing, and for its combat maneuver defense, it has a +8 modifier versus trip attacks. Then at 4th level, it advances, unlike 7th level with with the other two examples we went over. Its size increases to medium, its bite attack goes up to a 1d8, the ability scores increase for a strength of +4, reduce dex by 2, and gain +2 to constitution. For special attacks, it has trample, which has a save DC of 10 plus your strength modifier plus 1/2 the creature's hit dice, and plus 1.5 times strength. I listed that twice there, I'll have to fix that. It has to target small or smaller creatures, and therein lies the problem. It's a medium-sized creature. It's only going to be able to target small or smaller creatures, which really limits its effectiveness. Now, other animal companions do pick up the trample quality, but they're significantly larger size, and this overall has a very low damage output. Basically, the biggest advantages that you get with this here are that incredible +6 natural armor bonus, which don't increase at 4th level, and dark vision. The fact that it has a good bonus versus trip attacks is incredible. That's actually a really nice thing to throw in there, but trip attacks are kind of infrequent overall. Not something that you're really necessarily going to be worrying about a lot, but the other big penalty here is that it has such an incredibly low intelligence score. You're going to be spending 3 of its ability score increases to get it up to that score of 3, and I don't know that that's worthwhile, especially with how long that's going to take to get there. If anything, maybe pick this up around level 4 after it's advanced a bit. It's a good idea to switch around animal companions from a purely rules and mechanics standpoint, but I still don't know that the Beetle is worth it all the way around. You're better off going with something else entirely, or just sticking with the Velociraptor or Big Cat and waiting until level 7 anyways. Now, one other final thing to note here is that by level 7, your animal companions are going to have access to 3 feats in total. Definitely worthwhile to think about and plan out ahead of time, especially as you advance them. Now, speaking of advancing them, for the class skills that they get, anytime you invest their skill ranks into these class skills, they get that +3 miscellaneous bonus just like a player character would. And their class skills are acrobatics, climb, escape artist, fly, intimidate, perception, stealth, survival, and swim. Like with characters, climb and swim are kind of incidental, maybe not things that come about a whole hell of a lot. Escape artist, if your animal companion has somehow been bound up, you've got some larger issues going on. Escape artist is potentially useful if you know that they're going to be grappled a lot, but your animal companion should have other options for overcoming that, and not only that, but you can cast spells as well. Acrobatics, perception, stealth, and survival are probably going to be the ones you really want to lean into. Intimidate, I kind of rate up just a little bit higher because, as we've seen, some of your animal companions can have a surprisingly decent dexterity score, and throwing a rank into that really just sells the idea of this more intelligent than it should be creature just glowering and glaring out at some poor sap that you have in front of you, especially if they're bound up and helpless in front of them. And that's absolutely thematic as all hell and worth doing. Even if it may be not the most mechanically effective thing, it's still just absolutely incredible. Then for feats, you want to look at these ones in particular, though by no means are you limited to just these options. There are more to look at. I would look at armor proficiency light for sure to get your animal companion some barding. Medium also would be a good option, especially if you're not concerned as much about speed for the animal, or if they've already got a good speed going for them. Then also toughness, just to help make them a bit more robust. Iron will, just to boost those weaker saves. Agile maneuvers, if you're especially leaning in on an animal companion with a high dexterity score. This will let them add their dexterity to base attack and size bonus for combat maneuver bonuses in place of strength. And then weapon finesse can also be useful for this, as well as weapon focus. Weapon focus allows you to substitute out dexterity scores for strength in terms of your to-hit bonuses for base attack and everything. And then weapon focus just nets you an extra +1 bonus to attacks for their natural attacks, which can also be helpful, given that their attack bonus isn't going to be quite as accurate as yours will be, since it's limited and tied to their hit dice overall. And a +12 bonus by the time you hit level 20, it's not great, so whatever you can do to help boost that all the way around will be useful. But what do you think? Go on down to the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Did you like today's video? Did you dislike it? Did you find this helpful? Certainly there are so many more animal companions. You have the Allosaurus, Tyrannosaurus, You have apes like gorillas that can absolutely be incredible. Then you have your classic creatures like wolves that will be incredible, and then cheetahs as well, which have just incredible speeds to boot as well. So, and then of course, there's so many other feats to look at, like power attack. Although power attack might be less useful here for the animal companion than it might be for yourself. As regular viewer and commenter Captain Crank had noted, power attack can work out alright for the druid, especially since you can do a lot to boost yourself all the way around. But again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. We'll engage in discussion, have ourselves a good time, and remember, if you're new here to the channel, go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamers Den. But with all that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your Master of Lore and Storyteller Extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.